All right, so here we are at my little workstation here. I call it the laboratory just because it sounds better than workbench. And I wanted to show you guys some of the ways that I started out getting into wood burning. First off, I started wood burning without an actual wood burner. It actually was like an old soldering iron. I think I said one in my other introduction. It was nice because it would burn really, really hot, and no matter how green or new the wood was, it would make a really, really dark line. It was also very dangerous to use. Some less dangerous things was actually this. When I wanted to get back into wood burning, I kind of wanted to start off really, really slow, and I didn't really want to spend a lot of money. So I found Jacqueline's Braid Sealer. This is actually something that a hairdresser uses, I guess, to melt the end of synthetic braids or something like that, or weaves or whatever. It actually worked really, really well. It got really, really hot. It made nice lines. I could change out the bits. As you can see, there's a little place in here where you could screw things in. And it worked pretty well. So my interest was kind of piqued. I was like, all right, let's move on to the next stage. So I decided to drop probably, I think it was 28, 29, maybe 30 bucks, something like that. So I went on to Amazon, and I also checked eBay, because you never know if you're getting into something like wood burning and you really don't know it's something that you're going to do for a long time. You may want to get something that's used. I have no problem using things that are used, because if I like them, then I buy the same one again if it's new. If I don't like it, then I didn't really spend that much money and I don't really have that much invested. This is kind of a middle of the road wood burner, in my opinion. This little yellow guy right here also burns very, very hot. I also like it because it's lightweight. And when you're holding this for a long time and your hand's getting kind of warm, it's nice that it's not too heavy where you get exhausted just from holding it. Your hand just gets really tired and starts to cramp up. I would still be using this today if I didn't really decide to invest a little bit more money and get the more professional version. This version is really good. It does get hot. You can switch the bits, the tops in it as well. And I want to show you just a couple minutes real quickly to show you some of the different bits that you can use. A lot of the bits are pretty simple, and most of the standard bits look something like this, where it's kind of like a little conical or a sharp wedge that you use, and you screw it all the way down, because you want to make sure that the top of this is touching all of the surface area of the burner. If you don't screw it in the whole way, it's not going to heat up the way you want, and it's going to take you a really long time to do this. You have to remember, every time you put the tip to the wood, it's going to cool down, and that's going to have to take a second to warm back up again. So the more of the adapter you have in the wood burner itself, the hotter it's going to be, and the quicker you're going to be able to get through this. Wood burning is not a fast endeavor. It takes a lot of time, especially some of the better people at it that make actual, like almost real life photo interpretations of things. I'm definitely not at that level, but it's definitely an aspiration of mine. These guys are very, very talented. So you want to make sure that you can keep your wood burner as hot as you can to do the most work. So some other tips here. There's actually some tips that you can use that are shapes. This one is kind of like a snowflake. So if you're doing anything like a winter scene, it could come in handy. I really don't like to do anything like that. I like to kind of do my own thing. I don't like really stamps like that. I want to do it by myself. A lot of the other ones in here are very cool. This one is just shaped like a little cone. This one is very, very good for writing. If you're going to do text on one of your projects, you're going to sign one of your projects, this is one of the ones that would be easy to use. So again, this wood burner is really, really cool. It came with really nice instructions right here, and it even gave you kind of a tutorial on what tips do what. You know, what does this spoon looking one do? What's that action all about? Well, that one actually is very good at shading. You can, really make a nice gradient. You don't have to make it dark, dark, dark. You want to make it slightly tan, and then maybe lighter and lighter, lighter, or vice versa. So there's a tip for everything. You just have to figure out which one you need for the job you're going to do it. Plus, it came in this pretty nice case, which was also a plus. The other thing that I bought was this, and it's called the Detail Master 3 Dagger. And this is more of a professional version. Now, this one brand new is probably about, I don't know, $180, $190, $200. I got this bad boy used for about 80 bucks. It was a complete steal. I was totally trolling eBay, trying to find it. I finally found one and popped on it immediately, and I've never looked back since. Really, really good investment. These are very, very light. They burn very, very hot. And one of the coolest things about this machine is that it actually has a temperature gradient rheostat on it. So you are able to control how hot this gets. That's really cool, because with the other ones that I showed you, especially like this one, which is, you know, definitely kind of Outback, the only way you can really predict how hot it's going to be is the distance you put it to the board and how you take it away and stuff like that. It starts to get complicated. Still can be done, it's just complicated. When I'm using this one to shade, it's very I don't want to put it on 10 if I'm trying to shade. Shade is a very, very dark, deep burned line. And if you're not careful, you're going to ruin your project, because this right here has kind of a very sharp edge to it. You will burn through the wood completely if you're not careful. So you want to be able to crack that down to 6 or 7, and then if it's not hot enough, work it up from there. But going from a 10 to try to shade something, I really don't recommend doing that. The also cool thing nice is I can take this off and I can put on other pens and just hook it on like this. Now, obviously, if you order or ever order new pens, you want to make sure that the adapter is the same, because some pens take a different type of adapter. I made that mistake, unfortunately. So this pen is a fixed pen. A fixed pen means that I can't take the top off of this. This is fixed. It's permanently in there. It's glued. You don't want to do that. This one's really good for writing on a project as well. I use this one all the time. Super, super nice. And even these get hot, and it's nice because they have a nice little thing of foam on here. I've seen some people wear like heat protected gloves or something like that. I mean, if you're really into safety or you're maybe just getting started, I think that's great. But once you get used to it, you'll learn quickly where you should put your hand and where you shouldn't. It's pretty much that simple. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's grab something. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to start woodburning. Let's do it.